Hi everyone, hope you all are doing great. This is Sasi Bhushan Jha and today is 16th of August 2021. So as I promised, I will explain how floating point number will be stored inside the uh, memory. So there is certain changes, actually for explaining that concept it will take at least 1+ hours. So I decided to explain some different topic today, and once I get the time now, I will explain it. Yes, I will explain it surely, but because of timing issue, I am going to shift to a specific topic. And yeah, this question is very much important. And coming to the interview, you may not find such kind of answer or question, but coming to the coding now, you might find such kind of issue how to go with that. So it's like question is regarding the association mapping. So association mapping only. So you all know. Okay. So thing is like that. Basically, you all know if you are doing any program, the main motive is to what? You write some program here. Let's suppose this is your Java application. Having some front end, like this is your UI. In this Java application only, you have written some module, that is UI module, and in this UI module, user is going to give some input. Okay, fine. User is going to give some input, and this input is going to be used by this Java application, which is developed by me or anyone. Let me see whether it's coming clearly or not. Okay, fine. It's coming clearly. So yeah, let's suppose some developer have developed this Java application. And depending upon the type of the Java application, any kind of Java application, it may use our database for various possibilities. Let's suppose this is a kind of Facebook application. Okay, fine. In case of Facebook application only, let's suppose you want to log in to Facebook. In that case, what will happen? In this UI, there will be some page is there where they will ask your username as well as password. So once you give this username and password now, that will be taken by our Java application. From this front end, it will taken by our Java application, and this will be given to the database to check inside a table. Let's suppose a table is called as the credential table is there. From this credential table, it will search. Let's suppose I am simply writing a simple query. It may be true or not. It may be count star. A specific thing, count star, select count star, select count star from, let's suppose credential where and name is equal to X and password is equal to Y. Let's suppose I have written some query. So depending upon this, so it's very simple query. In real time they will write some beautiful procedure kind of or function kind of thing. But for making it easier, I have taken like this. So it will depending upon the query, depending upon the credentials which you have given, it will be taken by our Java application and given to database, and database will match it, and applying this query, it will give the result. If it is true, it will say one, and on basis of that you can log into your Facebook account, and then after that you can do whatever thing you want to do through Facebook. So now, this is the simple example of Facebook. In the same way, if you take various things, let's suppose you have some, let's suppose it's like this. It is let's suppose a normal application is there, in which the main thing is you want to add some, or let me take some example of sari.com. Okay, consider example of sari.com. Okay, sari.com is there. Okay, fine. Sari.com is there, let's suppose. Okay, so some specific user is there. So first of all, that user has to go through login kind of thing. Let's suppose he has done the login, and after that he has to, let's suppose he want to marry a girl. In that case, what he had to do, he had to fill his entire details. In that case, there will be some specific page where it will be every details will be there, and you have to fill as a user. So let's suppose there is a specific, this is a page where there is a name, age, and what is your salary, and everything is there in that particular name, age, height, whatever things is required. It is there in a page. Now once you do this page, there is a submit button is there. Okay, submit button is there. This front end will be taken by our Java application, and from there it will be stored inside a database table. Let's suppose table is like a bride or anything, bride or groom or anything, like marriage contestant, marriage contestant, like this. So this particular details will be saved inside the table. So this is not the thing which I want to convey. I hope you all know like what is the role of the database in any kind of application. So database play a vital role. So now the thing is, in a typical Java application, like what you can say in real time, we have huge number of tables. It's not like we have only one or two tables. We have multiple number of tables. Let's suppose like 50 tables, 60 tables. It's normal. We can have huge number of tables. Now coming to the relationship, like whether these tables are like without any relationship, like it will be there as a alone, or is there any relationship between them? So think logically. Like if you take n table, like this is one table, this is one table, and if there is no any relationship, why we build the relationship? Main thing is we build the relationship. The main reason is without relationship you can't get the data from different tables. Let's suppose there is two tables. One is the student table, let's suppose, and another is the course table, let's suppose. So I am just taking a simple example. This is a student table and this is a course table. Now this student, if you consider the requirement phase, like when the what you can say product owner or business analyst, they go to the like what you can say client, they will explain his or her requirement, and from the requirement what he gets, like they ask like I want such kind of application where a student has a course. So they have defined like a student has a course, so here you can see has a course. So this particular thing defines a relationship, like a student is there and course is there. These student and these course, these are called as the entity. These are the real entity, or you can say noun or everything. These are considered as the entity. And here has a course, or you can say what? This is a kind of relationship. In the same way, you can say what? Like person has Aadhaar card. So Aadhaar card. So this you can see. Like person and Aadhaar card, these are separate entity, because entity in the case what? If there is something by which you can identify a particular thing, like a specific criteria is there through which you can point out like this is different entity, then that is called as the entity. So it's like weak entity, a kind of thing is also there, like they don't have some specific thing that is called as the key or primary key. So if let's suppose entity is a thing which can be identified as a unique with the help of some key, that is called as the primary key. In case of what you can say, we have normalization and all those, like what you can say, in case of relational model, they have considered it as a primary key kind of concept. So these are called as the what you can say, ID, entity. Now coming to this is a kind of relationship, because person has a card. This person and this address or anything is associated with each other, like how? With the help of this address. If you just consider person and address, there will be no any kind of relationship, like person will be separate and address will be separate. So to build a kind of relationship, or you can say for fetching the data from different column, we have built a kind of relationship, and that is just called as the association mapping. Now basically we have various kind of association mapping or relationship between the tables. So it's like we can have one to many, or one to one, or many to one, or many to one, or many to many. So these are the four categories. Now the specific thing which I want to specifically a student get confused, like they easily figure out like which is one to one or one to many. They I think most of them can figure it out. And These all things will be explained in terms of what you can say requirement analysis only. They will explain on basis of requirement. Now you can get that. Like as I told, now let's suppose some client has defined like I want to build a kind of application, college application kind of thing, where every student has a course. So on the basis of requirement, now they can design this kind of relationship, like which kind of relationship it is. Now it can be one to many, one to one, or many to one, or many to many. So the main concept which I want to explain today now, basically like in this one to many or many to one, so how you can figure out like which kind of relationship it is. So this is the one thing which I want to explain today. And second thing is like in which table, which side you have to add the foreign key. So this is the two important thing which I want to explain today. So first thing is like this, how to find which kind of relationship, which kind of relationship it is. Relationship it is. So it is. So this is the first question. Okay. So now coming to, I hope it's visible properly. Let me see. Is it visible now? Yeah, fine, it's visible. So which kind of relationship it is? Like whether it is one to one, one to many to one, or many to many. So coming back, first of all we will consider example of one to many. So just follow me. You will understand it very beautifully. So one thing is there, one concept is there, that is called as the cardinality ratio. Okay. So CR, that is called as, that is cardinality ratio. Cardinality ratio. So what is this? Basically, you all know, as I explained you, like we have entity 1 is there, entity 2 is there, and between these two entities we build a kind of relationship. Now like as I take the example of person has address, so person and address is there, no? And here has a kind of relationship you have built. Now here the thing is how you can understand like which kind of whether it's one this side or many this side or many to many, whatever kind of thing it is. So thing is very simple. You have to understand the concept of cardinality ratio. So what cardinality ratio tells us, like it is like this. So cardinality ratio explains us like a specific entity. So consider a specific entity. Let's suppose I have considered entity 1. So this entity 1 can be associated with entity 2. Like how many entity 2 relationship? Entity 2 means how many number? I am talking about numbers. How many entity 2 this entity 1 can be linked? That is called as the cardinality ratio. So maximum. It is like maximum kind of relationship which you can bring with this entity 2, that is called as the cardinal ratio. So let's, for example, so I will explain you with the help of this diagram. So set diagram is beautiful example. So let's suppose there is a person is there. Okay, fine. Here this is a kind of has a, and here is an address. Okay, fine. Here is the address. So we have defined 3 Venn diagram for each. Now let's suppose you have to find like person has an address. So which kind of relationship it is? So what I told you, first of all you have to find a cardinality ratio of each of the entity. So first of all, let's suppose P1, like let's suppose this is P1, this is P2, this is P3, this is P4. These are the few things. Now here also let's suppose these are the address A1, this is address A2, similarly address A3, similarly address A4. Now these are the relationship. Let's suppose these are the relationship. Okay, fine. These are the relationship. Now coming to this cardinality ratio. So what will be the cardinality ratio for the person? Think. So these all things will be defined in terms of like requirement analysis phase only. So let's suppose at the time of what you can say, at the time of requirement analysis, they have given, like client has given like this, like at a kind of time of requirement analysis they have given like each person has at least one address. So at the time of requirement analysis only they define such kind of thing. On basis of that we will design like this. Otherwise it may be confusing. Like you may think like a person can have multiple house, a person can have no house. So this kind of thing will be specified at the time of requirement analysis only. So what data can be saved in our database, that will be defined with the help of requirement analysis. So if a person don't have the house, they may specify like this kind of constraint, like if person don't have the house or address, they can't be in our database. So these all kind of requirement analysis, this all kind of thing will be defined at a time of requirement analysis only. So let's suppose they have defined a requirement like this, like each person has at least one address. So, okay, fine, this they have defined like this. Now, as I told you, what is the cardinality ratio? It is the maximum number of association a particular entity can form with different entity. Now coming to this person, as depending upon the requirement, what it tells, has at least one address. So it has at least one address. So okay, this person, let's suppose P1 is having an address A1. Okay, fine. Person P1 has an address A1. Fine. Now let's suppose this person P2 now. I have taken second person P2. This person P2 has an address A2 also, and what it has taken has at least one address. So it can have more than one address also, because it has told us how much, like person has at least one address. So that's why we will link it to only one. In the same way, person P1 can have another address. So let's suppose P1 has A3 also as the address. So in this case, you can see here, like one person, a person P1 has maximum A, and person P2 has 2. So in the same case, let's suppose P3 is a person, can have the address like A4, and here A5 is also there, and A6 is also there. So this person P3 can have any number of, let's suppose any number of address. There is no any fixation, because they have defined like person have at least one address. So in that case, if I ask you about this particular, let's suppose this is P1, P2, so let me write it beautifully, it's P2 and it's P3. Okay, if I ask you what is the cardinality ratio, in that case, here if you see, a person can have more than one address, na? So if there is more than one, na, you have to consider it as n. So if it is more than one, we consider it as n, and if it is single one, then we consider it as one only. So here you can see a person can have more than one address, so we have considered it as n, because you can see here that particular person can be linked to more than one address. This person P3 can be linked to, this P3 can be linked to 3 addresses. Similarly, P2 can be linked to 2 addresses. So it will be more than one. It is not taking minimum, it is considering maximum. So that's why here the cardinality ratio is n. Similarly, if you come to this side address, what will be the cardinality ratio of the address? So if you see from this side, like this particular address now, this is associated with how many person? So you can see here a particular address is associated with at most one person only. So here A1 is associated with P1, A2 is associated with P2, A3 again with P2. This particular address, a specific address, is associated to only one person. So maximum how many person address can be associated? Only one person. So in that case, a cardinality ratio will be how much? N. So here it will be like this. It is like person has n and address has 1. Now what you have to do? You have to just reverse it. Take it like this, like this. So it will be like what? Person and address is there. I hope it is visible. Let me see whether it's visible or not. Yeah, it's visible. Fine. Here is person, here is address. So what I have told you, first of all, you have to define the cardinality ratio on the basis of requirement, whatever is given. And once you get the cardinality ratio, after that you have to reverse it. So this n will move on to this side and 1 to this side. So it will be person to address is there. So person to address, this diamond kind of symbol is there. So person is having 1, and this is many. Or you can say it is considered as a star. So many is basically represented as a star. So it's one to many relationships. Now if you take it in a word kind of thing, you will explain it more beautifully. A person can have more than one address. Is it true or not? One person can have more than one address. So we have taken one to many. So this kind of relationship is called as one to many relationship. I hope you have understand it's called as how it is called as one to many. So the thing is very simple. On the basis of requirement analysis, you have drawn this kind of diagram, and you have find like what will be the cardinality ratio, and you have reversed it, and on the basis of this you have plot it like one to many kind of thing is there. So why many in this side? Because a person can have more than one address. So yeah, like grammatically if you see it is correct. So this is the way. So now coming back to different thing, what I told you, this is the first point I want to explain, like which kind of relationship it is. So it is one to many, fine. Now second thing is like coming to foreign key. So as you all know, what is the foreign key? So if you want to get a data from some different table which is in relationship, in that case we will define a key that is called as the foreign key, which may be null or which can be what you can say non-unique, but which is present in some different table as the primary key. So that is called as what? Foreign key. So let's suppose what I have taken here, person is there now. Okay, fine, this is person table, and this is an address table. Fine, this is an address table. And now you can, I think you have understand like what is the relationship, but how to represent this relationship in terms of these tables, that is main challenge. So I think you understand like what is the relationship in case of diagram. You can easily understand it with the help of ER diagram. You can understand it like here you have taken person, here you have taken second person, and this is that relationship, and it's like one person has multiple address. So this kind of thing you understand directly. So okay, fine, this is but in practical we are not going to do like this inside a computer. No? You have to represent in terms of table only. So how you will represent it in terms of table? There is a concept of foreign key. So as I discussed to you, foreign key help us to define a kind of relationship between two tables. Okay, fine. A particular table can have more than one foreign key. So let's suppose a table has relationship with multiple tables. In that case, it can have more than one foreign key. Okay, fine. Now coming back to this, let's suppose we have person is there, having person ID is there, like person name is there. Okay, fine. Person address, person name, and let's suppose age is there. Fine. Coming to address is, let's suppose gully number, and it's like gully number and district. So these are the two columns. Now I want to link this. I want to link these two tables. So how you can link? So as I told you, you have to take a primary key from one table, and you have to take that column to one of the table from like left side or right side. You have to take a particular table. So which side you have to consider? That is main challenge. So yeah, thing is very simple. Consider from both the side. Let's suppose this is person, this is address now. So yeah, I will give you like shortcut, but you should understand the concept like how it is happening actually. So thing is like this. Let's suppose person is there and address is there, and here I have considered as foreign key. Let's suppose in this side. Okay, gone. I think it's not working. No issue, we will figure out with some different marker. Okay, let's suppose I have considered in the person side, I have considered the foreign key, and it is like, let's suppose it's like gully number can't be, it's like gully code. Let it, gully code is there. Okay, fine. Gully code is the primary key, here PID is the primary key. So you basically represent it with the help of single arrow. So whatever key is the primary key, that is considered as the, we will put a line below that. So why, I hope you understand what is primary key. Primary key is basically concept which is used in case of relational algebra. So for an entity to identify uniquely, there should be some column, or it can be one column, or it can be a combination of more than one column, which help us to gather all information related to particular entity. That particular columns or set of columns is called as the primary key. So I think you understand it. Okay, fine. Now coming back to our concept. So what I was telling, like to define a relationship, you have to take a foreign key. So you can consider in which side, like this side or this side. So we will consider both the case, and after that we will rule out one of the case which is not suitable. Okay, fine. I have taken this case, like it is like gully code na. So let me consider gully code here. It's like gully code. Okay, fine. We have considered gully code as the foreign key, which we will refer from this address table. Fine. Because the person has a gully code, we will leave a specific gully. Okay, fine. Now Is it true or false? Let's suppose a person, if I fill the values here, if I fill the value here, then you will understand the things. Let's suppose here is a person, let's suppose having ID 1, and his name is, let's suppose, Raja. His name is Raja, and having age like 17 years, and gully code is 1, and having district XY, and similarly a gully code is there which is, let's suppose, so a gully code is 2 having district like Z, and gully code 3 having M. So these are the district. Okay, fine. Now this person Raja, let's suppose Raja has 2 house. In that case, what will be the gully code for Raja? Let me first of all you analyze the things. I told you, like let's suppose Raja is a person, no? Raja, and their address is there. So Raja, you will plot it like this, and here there is a relationship. So Raja is a person as RAJ. Okay, fine. And here are two gully codes, because as I defined you, like Raja has 2 address. In that case, Raja will map to how many address? He will map to 2 address. One with this and one with this. So this is one district code, and this is district code, whatever code, gully code, na? So yeah, it's like gully code 1, gully code, and it's like gully code 2. So you can see here, like I have to represent in terms of person ID Raja, I have to represent these two. Let's suppose 1 and 2 are the gully code where person Raja is having the address. In that case, you have to put as 1 and 2 as the gully code. Okay, fine. I have taken 1 and 2. Similarly, let's suppose there is a person having ID 2, name Sasi is there, having age anything like 15, and what will be the gully code? Let's suppose 3 is the gully code, because let's suppose person Sasi has only one address, so in that case it will be like this. Now, my issue is like whether this table is right or not. You have to analyze like whether this table is right or not. So, as I told you, basically what this normalization rule tells, like with the help of one key, you have to identify a particular column exactly. Like I will give one key that is called as primary key, and on base of that primary key, you have to find all the details of the table. So a unique detail, you have to find a unique detail. What I told you, you have to find a unique detail. You don't have to find 2 things. You have to find only one, that is called as the unique detail. So here, if you see here, like for person P1, that is Raja, you can plot 2 addresses. So if I give you person ID as 1, if I give you like person ID is equal to 1, and I ask you, like, can you give me the entire information about the person having person ID 1? So you can see, if I write the query like this, select a star from person where PID is equal to 1. If I write the query like this, select a star from person where PID is equal to 1. If I write like this, so this query, it will okay, how many I am specifying a primary key as a condition. It should give exactly one value, because primary key, why they have defined the primary key, it's because they want a unique result. But in this case, if you see, it will give like this: person ID, name, person name, here is the age, and here is the gully code. Let's suppose gully code. Okay, fine. So it will give person ID 1, name is Raja, fine, age is, let's suppose, 17 given, and gully code is 1, and similarly it will give 1 and Raja 17, gully code 2. So you can see here, for person ID PID 1, we have 2 unique, we have not 2 unique, we have 2 columns. So you can see here, like we have 2 record for a single person ID, which is considered as the unique key. You have considered person ID as the primary key, so it should give only single record here, but here you can see it is giving 2 record. So that's why in that case, so this designing is not a correct design. So in terms of normalization, what they tells, like the file or table should be a flat file. Flat file means what? Inside a column now, there should be only one value. You can't have more than one value inside a particular column. So here you can see 1 and 2 is there now. So if you make it like a distinct value, you can see here for particular PID, you can have 2 different gully codes. That is not possible. And second reason is, that these normalization people, they have defined a rule like a file should be a flat file. Means what? A particular column should contain exactly one value. But here it is considering two value. That's why it's not a valid design. So this design we rule out. Okay, fine. We have ruled out this design. This is not working perfectly. Okay, this gully code is not working perfectly. Fine. Okay, we will remove it. Now we will move to this side, like address side, and in this side we will consider like whether it will work or not. Okay, fine. We will consider this side only. Okay, fine. We will consider this as the foreign key. Let's suppose it is like a PID foreign key. Okay, fine. This is the foreign key. Now, this is the foreign key which I have defined. Now think whether this is, now analyze like whether it is true or false. So as I told you, Raja has two addresses, 1 and 2. In that case, what you have to do, as I described you, like from the ER diagram, like Raja has two addresses. So in that case, this 1 and 2 is the gully code which is valid for Raja. So what you will write here, PID will be 1 and PID again will be 1, because these two, gully code 1 and 2, this is associated with Raja, and Raja has two addresses, 1 and 1. So that's why in case of foreign key, here I have written PID as 1 only. Okay, similarly for Sasi we have written here, what is the gully code? It is 2. Okay, fine. We have considered it as 2 here. So here you can see why I have written 1. You can consider I have written 1 because this person, this gully code 1 and 2 is associated with Raja, and as I told you, na, like this person here, Raja is there, and here a particular, let's suppose, address is there, and a person Raja has how many? 2 addresses. So it's like 1 to 2 relation. That's why we call as 1 to many. So what we have done, we have written this primary key PID in these two columns, in these 2 rows. Sorry, not column. In these 2 records. So that's why here, if you see, we are not violating any kind of rules like primary key, because if you will give a specific PID, na, you will get a specific record. You will not get 2 records, because in this particular table, if I write the select query like select star from gully address, select star from address where gully code is equal to 1. If I write like this, it will give me a single value. So here you can see there is no any violation of normalization rule, and here the file is the flat file. So here this design is a perfect design. So what we have taken the relationship with we have represented the relationship with the help of this foreign key, and this foreign key we have placed in many side. So you can see we have placed this relationship in the many side, because as you all know, earlier we have drawn like this, now. Here we have taken person, and here we have taken address, and here you have taken relationship, and it's like how many? 1 to many. So here you can see in many side we have defined this foreign key. So that's the reason we define foreign key in the many side, and this is the shortcut. So you know, if you have to find, like in which side you have to draw the foreign key, in that case consider the many side. So many side you have to consider, you have to take foreign key, FK column. So this is the point which I want to explain, and through these examples I hope you people have understand. Now coming to many relationship and 1 to 1, it's a special case which I will explain in upcoming lectures. So that's all for today. I hope you people have understand this concept, and yeah, it's like most of the person know is like why we will in many side we will take the foreign key, but what is the reason behind this? So this is a perfect explanation for that. So thanks everyone for joining. Bye everyone. Bye.